This is the sliding filament theory, including rigor mortis. This is the expanded view of the muscle fiber and the motor neuron, which sends the signal to begin muscle contraction within the muscle. This is the neuromuscular junction, and within it is the muscle fiber and the motor neuron. Within this area is where the acetylcholine is released from the motor neuron and enters into the synaptic cleft to bind to the muscle fiber's receptors. Acetylcholine now binds with receptors on the motor end plate of the muscle fiber. Here is the process of how acetylcholine moves through the receptors. Now that the acetylcholine has binded to the receptors, the muscle fiber can generate an impulse. The muscle fiber travels around the sarcolemma and eventually down the T-tubule, where it goes to the sarcoplasmic reticulum. In response to the impulse, the sarcoplasmic reticulum releases calcium ions. The calcium released from the sarcoplasmic reticulum now travels to the sarcomere to bind to troponin. Troponin releases from the actin, causing tryptomyosin to shift position. This results in the binding sites becoming exposed. The myosin heads grab onto the actin and prepare to pull them towards the center of the sarcomere. This is the point where rigor mortis will occur in a dead body, when the actin is at the center of the sarcomere. At death, rigor mortis occurs, which stiffens the muscles. Specifically, the normal contraction process occurs up until where there is no ATP left for the muscles to contract. So normally ATP needs to be involved within muscle contraction so contraction can continue to occur normally. The myosin and actin thus remain contracted because there is no more ATP left and therefore stiffen at death. The myosin heads let go of the actin and return to their original position. ATP within the muscle contraction process is further broken down, allowing myosin heads to continue to attach to actin, which repeats the power stroke. The myosin heads let go of the actin and finally return to their original positions. The motor neuron stops receiving its impulse now. The motor neuron also now stops releasing its acetylcholine from its vesicles. After this occurs, the muscle fiber no longer generates an impulse. The sarcoplasmic reticulum calls back for the calcium ions to be released from the troponin and travel back to the sarcoplasmic reticulum. Troponin reattaches to the actin. Tryptomyosin shifts back to its original position to block the binding sites that the myosin heads attach to. The muscle fiber now relaxes.